Alrighty guys, we're back for Simic Ramp, and this is a Dragonstorm Standard Brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some Ranked, but first things first, this was a patron suggestion, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's gonna be a fun one. We're rocking 3 Taigam Master Opportunist. It's a 2 mana 2/2 legendary creature rocking Flurry. So whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy it, then exile the spell you cast with 4 time counters on it. If it doesn't have Suspend, it gains Suspend, which means at the beginning of your upkeep, you remove a time counter. When the last is removed, you may play it without paying its mana cost. If it's a creature, it has haste. Okay, that's interesting. So we're going to be pairing this with some adventures, some new omens, and the idea is to play the cheapest side of the card as your second spell, and then you suspend it, and then eventually the time counters are gone, and you can cast the more expensive side of the spell for free. So yeah, that sounds interesting, right? So cards like Bloomvine Regent here is a 5 mana 4/5 dragon. It has flying. Whenever this creature or another dragon you control enters, you gain 3 life. Okay. Now it has the Omen here, claim territory for 2 and a green. Now you may cast this card as an Omen. After you do, shuffle this card into its owner's library. So not quite adventures, right? So for this one, it's search your library for up to 2 basic forest cards, reveal them, put 1 onto the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand, then shuffle. Seems pretty good, man. Good enough to say we're rearranging it and considering it a 3 mana card until we actually do the ramp thing successfully, at which point we're not going to be mad at all to spend 5 mana on the actual creature side of this. It's a very similar concept to Overlord of the Hauntwoods, right? Do some rearranging because of that impending cost. Overlord should be pretty darn good in here. We're pairing these powerful top-end 5 drops with Up the Beanstalk. We know how well Up the Beanstalk works with that impending cost on the Overlord as well. Up the Beanstalk is also the main card draw, but not the only card draw. We actually have this top-end Marang River Regent. It's a 6 mana 6/7 flyer. And when this creature enters, return up to 2 other target non-land permanents to their owner's hands. Cool. Now it has an Omen side, Coil and Catch for 3 and a blue. Draw 3 cards, then discard a card. Neat, yeah. Although I'm not going to do some rearranging because this is actually one of our top-end creatures. And I feel like it's going to be a pretty even balance between which one we actually play out, right? The 4 mana Omen or the 6 mana creature. We do have more Omens packed in. Sagu Wildling? Sagu? Something like that. It's a 5 mana 3/3 flyer, dragon, and when this creature enters, you gain 3 life. Cool. Now the Omen side, I'm going to do some rearranging for, because it's just 1 green mana. Roost Seek. It's sorcery. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Cool. All right. How about those adventures I was talking about? We have a 1 of Virtue of Strength here. For, again, I'm doing the rearranging because the adventures has just 1 green mana, return target creature or land card from your graveyard to your hand. So when the opponent kills the Taigam, bring it back to your hand with that growth side here, the adventure side. What is it? Garnbrig Growth? I don't think I've ever read the adventure on this card before. All right, what else do we got packed in? More adventures. Bramble Familiar. Heck yeah, it's a 2 mana 2/2. You can tap it for a green. You can pay 1 and a green, tap it, discard a card, return this creature to its owner's hand. Now the adventure side is 7 mana. It's called Fetch Quest. Sorcery speed. Mill 7 cards, then put a creature, enchantment, or land card from among the milled cards onto the battlefield. So yeah, there's a perfect example of you want to play Bramble Familiar as a 2 mana card as your second spell while the Taigam's out there. Then the Bramble Familiar gets suspended, and eventually, once the time counters are gone, you'll be able to cast the Fetch Quest for free. Sounds really neat, right? So we do have a couple Doppelgangs here, which I'm actually not going to take the time to go over right now. There's a lot of great things that we would not mind copying in here, especially like ETBs like Bloomvine Regent. Copying the Regent a couple times over, you're going to gain a ton of life off of that all of a sudden. Opting for early tempo with 4 bounce off, I don't think it's going to be completely unheard of to maybe hit one of your own creatures at some point to protect, but most of the time, you're just trying to survive, so you're probably going to be hitting your opponent's creatures quite often. Got some counter spells in here, trying out the new Spectral Denial. X and a blue instant speed. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. Neat. Counter target spell unless its controller pays X. Guys, I don't know much about counter spells, but this is pretty good, right? In the right build? Hopefully this is the right build. Or maybe I'm crazy. I don't know, man. Maybe this should just be another counter spell. Your counter spell of choice. How's that sound? Another top end, we have Craterhoof Behemoth. Speaking of cards, decent to copy with the Doppelgang, huh? When this creature enters, creatures you control gain trample and get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. It also just has haste. And don't forget, it gives itself that +X/+X too. It doesn't say other creatures. It's pretty gross, man. Maybe we miss the Behemoth. Maybe we don't mind spending a couple extra green to grab it out of the build. We have Nature's Rhythm here. X and double green, sorcery speed. Search your library for a creature card with mana value X or less. Put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. And it also has a Harmonize ability here for X and quadruple green, where you can cast it from your grave for that cost, and then you may tap a creature you control to reduce that cost by X, where X is the creature's power. Honestly, I don't think that's going to be unheard of at all, so I think it'll be worth the one of in here. The mana base, guys. We got the Hedge Maze, we got the Verge, got Fable, we got the new Kishla Village and the new Mistrise Village. Not going to take the time to go over any of that right now, though. Some honorable mentions over here. I thought about the encroaching Dragonstorm, because we do have 10 dragons. Wow. Thought about other top-end cards like Coma, World Eater to ramp into, but I think ramping into Doppelgang and everything else, all of our 5-drops should be enough. I thought about Restless Vinestock for the mana base too. All right, guys. Holy cow, I do my damnedest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video. Sometimes I fail. Either way, let's go ahead and take this into some ranked, see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? I have no idea, man. When a new set releases, everything's just up in the air. I have no clue what's going to be good or what's going to be bad. Like, I have high hopes, of course, right? Oh dear. This is pretty bad, right? I think so. We go first, though. There's a chance that we don't just completely get run over by mice or something. We should probably mulligan. Nah, we'll find our third mana. We're fine. Everything's fine, guys. And we have so many cheap cards. And plus, turn 1 Surveil here, too. Okay, there we go. Whew. Keep the third mana on top. Get some good ramp on turn 3 with the Bloomvine, maybe. Okay, Storm Chaser's Talent. We have Spectral Denial open for X is 1. I wouldn't mind hitting a 2-drop with the Spectral Denial. Worth it. It's either that or we're going to discard it. So, yeah, definitely worth it. Yeah, because we wouldn't have had a creature or vehicle to sacrifice, so we would have had to discard a card. I don't see anything else in the hand that I would have rather discarded, so. Okay, we can get the island. Opponent's tapped out here, too. Let's claim the territory. The Omen goes back into the deck list. All right. I think the River Regent is not something we want to see against the deck list that we're up against right now, but I guess it still could be a pretty good tempo play to pop a couple otters with or something. All right, that's a lot of mana. Can do Nature's Rhythm. Yeah, the River Regent, we probably want to save it as a creature for next turn. It's also a pretty bad card for the opponent to want to bounce back to hand. Nature's Rhythm for X is 3. We don't have any 3-mana creatures, do we? I wouldn't mind an X is 2 Nature's Rhythm. Mana value X or less. That I don't think we have mana value 3 creatures, right? I'm gonna just spend my mana. Let's see what we find. Let's look at the deck list here real quick. I know I just went over the deck list, but I don't know. Yeah, it's just some 2 mana. I guess we'll grab Taigam. Bramble Familiar. Also help us ramp. I want to see Taigam do the thing, but the problem is all the removal that's packed into the opponent's deck list, probably. These Dimir Bounce. Well, it's probably Esper Pixie. We see Esper Pixie much more than Dimir Bounce, but we'll see, we'll see. Opponent, how could you? I spent 5 mana. I spent 5 mana on that Taigam. This town ain't big enough. All right, they get the nowhere to run back to hand. Play the talent. Here's what they don't know. They don't know River Regent's about to come down and pop those otters. Oh, Virtue can bring our Taigam back from the grave, too. That's pretty fun. But this is definitely the play for the turn, right? Especially while they only got 1 mana open. Bye-bye, otters. That's cool, man. And again, this is not a great creature for them to bounce back when we have mana to keep casting it, so it's a pretty hard one for them to get rid of outside of another momentum breaker would actually be pretty bad. It's too bad our second spell for the turn would be the Taigam if we bring it back. I wouldn't mind Virtue of Strength. I think we need to get another creature down before Momentum Breaker breaks my soul, right? So let's start with the swing. We'll get Overlord down. And that'll be the sacrifice to the Momentum Breaker, I suppose, because this can fly over the otters, which I think is pretty important. I guess we'll set up by grabbing the Taigam now. No, we could wait. Maybe bring the Overlord back instead. No, I'll grab the Taigam now while we have it open. That way if we see something else that we want to copy with the Taigam, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. 4 time counters is a long time away. Nowhere to run. Are they going to double down here? They're going to double down on the Overlord. They still have 2 open. Guys? Is it a Momentum Breaker? If it is, why wouldn't have they done it last time? Okay, it looks like it's going to be a This Town Ain't Big Enough instead. So here we go. So first of all, Craterhoof Behemoth could just could force them into a This Town Ain't Big Enough. Well, they're probably going to do that anyways. And again, we'll just eventually recast the River Regent. Excuse me, guys. All right, we start with the swing then. If we're not playing Craterhoof, we just start with the swing. They were going to try to wait for the very last moment with Craterhoof until we can actually push the victory through. Actually bounce the Storm Chaser's talent back. Huh. I have this option to do the Omen side here too. All right, let's get this down. I'm thinking Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Virtue of Strength. Don't have the mana for it now. We also have this Nature's Rhythm that we don't want to forget about too. I'll tell you what. If we missed the Craterhoof Behemoth, it's pretty wild that Nature's Rhythm would be able to successfully grab it out of the deck list here. Especially when the Harmonize, we can tap down the Overlord of the Hauntwoods successfully. Okay, Taigam getting popped to the 3rd. Nowhere to run. Pretty brutal, huh? But this is the extra otters is why we didn't play the Regent back down for the turn. Oh, another Regent too. Wow. Okay. Well, the opponent's at 14. They only got 1 card remaining here. Maybe now's the time for the Craterhoof Behemoth and just get some good trampling damage through. How do you guys feel about that? Only 1 card remaining? What's the odds that it's something valuable? Probably pretty good, man. I know those deck lists are pretty fine-tuned. Could be another this town ain't big enough, honestly. Which would be pretty brutal. Because they could let the Craterhoof Behemoth go through easily. It's a go for the throat. Bro, it was still something valuable. Alright, well, definitely worth the swing. Let's hope they miss, but I don't think they're gonna. Yeah, they have level 2 on the Storm Chasers talent. They can bring Go for the Throat back. They find a momentum breaker. Dude, for real, we're still in danger. Even though it feels like it's leaning towards us, like we're in danger, bro. I think they'll even swing with the Otter, too. They bring the this town ain't big enough. Okay, I'm actually really happy that this is suspended over there. There's nothing we want to bounce over there except for their one Otter. This does say return up to 2, so that's good, I guess. We have 2 extra mana after we get Virtue, which is 6. So we could go... We could go like this, right? Make sure we have a couple open. Also, we didn't play an island for the turn. So we'll finally get the Virtue down. We have to think about this nature's rhythm, too. So there's the 6 mana for the Regent. Actually, I probably should have just doubled down on Regent. Right? Yeah. I probably should have just doubled down on Regent because they're going to bounce one with the this town ain't big enough. At that point, they're going to bounce the Storm Chasers talent too to get another Otter. Momentum breaker. Dude, I wasn't even thinking twice about that. Oh, I really should have played both Regents. Oh, crap, dude. Oh, crap. Oh, no. I hope I didn't butcher this first game. Oh, the discard. Oh, no. Oh, no. What are we grabbing? What are we grabbing up with the nature's rhythm? Because both of our Regents are gone. I guess X is 5 at that point. Oh, I know what we can grab. Yeah. X is 5. Pay the mana. There it is. Bloomvine Regent. Oh, yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Gain some life here. Gain some good life here. All right, all right. And now next turn too, Overlord of the Hauntwoods is going to come out with haste thanks to the Taigam. The opponent is putting up one heck of a fight. Wow, nowhere to run. Number 4 pops the Wildling. They still have Restless Reef here too. They go Storm Chaser's talent to bring this town ain't big enough back to their hand, but they only got 1 mana open, luckily. Okay, Overlord has haste. However, it does not have trample. We find mana off the top. Dude, I'm on the edge of my seat for real. Holy cow. Holy cow, man. So we're forcing a block here. I played that Craterhoof Behemoth like way too hastily, right? We should just play the forest in case they see Hopeless Nightmare off the top. One of our 2 Doppelgangs would be pretty good if we're actually able to keep anything on the board here, though. So there's a real chance that we're not going to have any creatures at the end of this. And the bounce would be the Regent because it doesn't have haste, and the Otter can chump the Overlord anyways. Oh, they want to pop it with... I don't know why I keep forgetting the Momentum Breaker. I keep thinking they want to bounce the Storm Chaser's talent to get more Otters. Okay. Hey, guys. All right, that's good. That's good. Anything that keeps us in this longer. This is pretty crazy, man. But now they don't have another Storm Chaser's talent to hit to level 2. Dude, their last card in hand was a counter spell. Oh, crap. Okay, well, I guess I'm glad that they didn't counter the flyer, but this flyer gets picked up by Nowhere to Run, but all 4 Nowhere to Runs are already on the board, so I don't know who this is leaning towards. Dude, send help. All we got to do is push that little bit through, but our 1 Virtue's out, so it's not like we can grab the Craterhoof back from the grave. Our 1 Craterhoof is out, so that's not helping us get through hastily. The opponent might have finally missed here, guys. The opponent might have finally missed. They go for the swing with the Restless Reef. They mill us, Taigam, and some land. I'm actually a little sad that the Wildling's gone because any flyers is essential here. Okay, down to 18. Start their engines. Crap, more life gain for them. Oh no. Oh no, I wasn't paying attention to their speed. That's 4 life right there. They're not on a clock, guys. They got turns for days. Oh no. Dude, I haven't been this on the edge of my seat in a while, for real. Because I also think like there's been some optimized plays that I could have, like there were definitely plays that I could have optimized here that probably could have pushed us to the victory, especially just like waiting a couple extra turns maybe for the Behemoth. Right now, if we're like looking at it from a deck list point of view, a second Behemoth would not be bad, right? I'd say no. It would not be bad at all. Okay, bounce off. Okay. That could protect our Wildling if they do find removal for it. But again, it doesn't have haste. We'd only get around the removal once. But they found so much removal already. Maybe there's a good chance that we get there, guys. 2 momentum breakers, 4 Nowhere to Runs. They can't bounce the momentum breaker because they gained life from it. That's good, right? Hopeless Nightmare. Crap, there goes the bounce off. Yep, it's definitely not worth bouncing the Wildling. I hope it's not removal. Grimbobble. That doesn't do it. Yeah, let's go, guys. Holy cow, man. Oh my goodness. At some point, my soul left my body. We got there. Holy cow. I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. Tough uphill battles. Woo, all the quests getting done. Holy cow, man. All right, let's keep the ball rolling, huh? Let's just take a breather. Not think about that game at all. Just think about the game ahead of us. How's that sound? Okay, Taigam. Craterhoof. I like this. Oh, only blue sources, guys. Only blue sources because of the Verge and the Village. That's not going to hold you up very often, right? But I guess it will. I'll try it. Why not? What a great victory that last game was. I'm not supposed to be thinking about it, but it was such a great victory. We might as well just go for it here. It's totally fine. Yeah, only blue sources. I don't think we're going to get punished. So much mana in here. So much mana to see off the top. We're fine. Everything's fine, right, guys? Boros colors with Lava Spur boots. Taigam, no, get down. No. Oh, there we go. There we go. I love that it's an island that's actually saving our butt here, too. That's funny, actually. All right, let's go ahead and... I guess Up the Beanstalk makes the most sense here, right? All right, it's a forest. Sweet. I don't mind seeing it at all. Also, Rebel Salvo, Lava Spur Boots, Kemba. Opponent, I'm supposed to be rooting for myself here, you know. That's pretty cool, man. Playing some equipment. Okay, another Verge. We can successfully get the forest down. I'd like to keep the Wildlings for next turn. But thinning the deck list isn't terrible either. Yeah, the next 2 turns, I mean. How in danger do you guys think we're about to be? The Ka Enduring is probably going to get around the 3-3 anyways. I'm going to take the time to thin the deck list. We'll gladly grab another forest too. And I'm going to keep the other Wildling for next turn so we can draw on it with the Up the Beanstalk too. So I hope that's okay. It seems fine. Seems fine to do. The Aether Spark. Holy cow, man. Oh, dude. Okay, yeah, Kemba's definitely getting above the 3-3. And the Aether Spark is getting a little boost to boost here too, man. Oh, crap. It only has Ward 1, so one of our bounce-offs would have been great. That's definitely noteworthy. Okay, more mana. I'm glad we thinned the deck list, but I don't know how long we're going to survive here. Hey, there's the bounce off. All right, that's good. That's really good. We don't have the mana for it right now, but I think the -5 on the Aether Spark. Yeah, draw 2. That's crazy, man. I'm scared of this. They can get the other Lava Spur on for more ward, I guess. We have enough mana to get around a lot of the ward, but they're going to search. I guess this could be... Oh, Chainsaw. Oh, nice, opponent. Okay. Okay. Dude. Okay. They do find a mountain here. They can still equip the Lava Spur Boots. They decide not to. They must have maybe a Rebel Salvo open instead. Then the Aether Spark goes back up to 10. They have a couple turns of drawing 2, even after we go bounce off onto the Kemba. And they play the Kemba. They get that free attachment. Dude, we're in so much danger. Holy cow. First of all, Overlord is a really good draw. Let's start with the draw there, and we're going to definitely just play it as a creature. Oh, crap, but the ward... Now we don't have the bounce off open, but it's still... Crap, it's a Rebel Salvo, dude. Holy cow. That is what they were holding open. Dude, we're getting picked apart. I probably should have kept the bounce off open to bounce the Kemba. But getting a creature down seemed pretty good too. I'll just bounce the Overlord back to hand. I think we're dead. And I don't know, man. That seems okay too. I think we're super out of this because even if we find a way to get around this, they have so much card draw on the Aether Spark for the next couple turns, which we just have nothing for that right now. Kellen's coming down. That's getting haste. Oh, we're just dead too. So I had no other options outside of playing Overlord as a 3-mana. Wait. Getting ahead of myself here. First of all, good game, opponent. It's really cool to see equipment right now. Anything that's cool, we need to make sure to drop the GGs, man. I try to drop the GGs every game, but I forget sometimes. Anyways, my only option was 3-mana Overlord. Make sure we kept bounce off open for the ward costs. And then at that point, since we knew Kellen was ready, because they just played the adventure, this would have been the target with the bounce off, and we needed to be able to pay the ward cost too. So we wouldn't have had a blocker for the Kemba, so 6 damage would have been getting through still too. So best case scenario would have been bounce off early on, or maybe one of our counter spells for the Aether Spark. Yeah, something like that, probably. Man, I really liked the opponent's deck list there. Are there any new equipments from Dragonstorm? Is there any reason to revisit equipments right now? Because I'm interested. I don't know. Oh, there was that one that cares about, what is it? It's like, is it protection from monocolored or something? I don't know right now. It takes me a while to learn the new cards. Heck yeah, dude, I'm keeping this. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. What a hand. I might even, with the 4 mana, I might even skip the Omen on the Regent, just keep it as a 5 mana card. I'm gonna keep Virtue. It's not doing a lot right now, but I like it. Fabled Passage. Okay, Verge. Come on down. Let's get that Up the Beanstalk down. Dude, we draw. Doppelgang. Hi. That ought to be good. See what color the opponent is playing here. Plains. Fabled Passage Plains? Oh, Island. Oh, rest in peace. Oh. If a card or token would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it. Well, I guess the adventure side of Virtue isn't going to do anything this game, right? So I'm very, very tempted to just save Regent as a 5 mana card, but we don't know what we're up against. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I'm going to go Bramble Familiar for ramp and try 5 mana next turn. And I'm going to save the Wildling. Same thing, I'm pretty sure. We'll be okay just saving those and not playing them as omens. If they were adventures, then this would be a different story. But honestly, these would be pretty powerful adventure cards, wouldn't they? Even the Wildling just being like a... I mean, I don't want to call it a janky pick, but it's kind of... Opponent, not the lockdown opponent. They took their rest in peace, too. Okay, well... I'm upset. No, now we got the Omen on the Coil and Catch. That was a really good draw. Wow. That's really good, man. Ramp on the Bloodvine, I guess. It's something. I guess we want to... No, I'll just draw 3, discard 1. Maybe we get a counterspell out of the opponent's hand, too. We don't know what we're up against, so it wouldn't be terrible to do this on our turn. Okay, I should. Like I said, it wouldn't be terrible to get a counterspell out of their hand, but the extra card draw right now is really good, isn't it? I think it's one of the Wildlings. Keep the Overlord, because that could be the only thing that we see. Well, we still have... We could find 5th mana on the other Wildling and then play Overlord for Impending. We have a lot of options in this deck list, guys. The second Doppelgang also could have been sent. But the thing about Doppelgang is even X is 1 for 5 mana would be pretty good with this hand if we are copying things like the Regent, so... Oh, Taigam. Oh, nice. Dude, I'm trying this. Because this could be a longer game. Now, is it Virtue? Is that the second card we want to copy? Get the Virtue of Strength side, especially with the Doppelgangs in hand. That could be really good. Or do we want to copy the Wildling? That's much worse, right? So, yeah. Virtue. Taigam. This is cool, man. This is really cool. I like this. So we suspend it. I guess we see what happens to the Virtue. I guess... Okay, there we go. It's suspended. Yeah. 4 turns, we'll get a Virtue of Strength right on time for our Doppelgang, right? Now I guess we could go ahead and cast this. Grab a basic. I'm down. We'll grab, I guess an island quite successfully here, right? There we go. Cool. It's a really cool turn. Yeah, now if the opponent is a control deck list and they take too long, Virtue of Strength can really help us close it up, especially if we're copying a bunch of our creatures. But something we do have to anticipate, of course, is Sunfall or other board wipes too, so. Okay, suspend, it's down to 3 time counters. More mana, I'm not mad about it. So we have things here like, okay. Okay, I mean, Taigam also survived, which is super weird, right? It's super weird that we have that alive right now. I kind of want to go Wildling, grab another basic, and then try our 5 mana Regent and see if it lands. But they got 5 mana open. It probably doesn't land, but I think it might still be worthwhile. So this is our first spell for the turn. Also, they could pop the Taigam before the second spell too. So that's also something. Another forest is fine. I guess we could have done that and then hid part of our hand too. All right, let's try the Bloomvine Regent. Taigam is going to try to suspend it. So yeah, what we could have done was find the land first, played the forest that we exposed, and then kept the other dual land in hand that we drew, right? So that way they knew less of our hand. Guys, I can't believe it, but we have 2 things suspended over here. I don't even think it's worth attacking with the Taigam into something like an Elspeth Smite against what we're assuming is Azorius control. It's just, it doesn't feel worth the swing, right? Taigam doing a lot for us right now. Also at that point, more creatures on the board when we find our Craterhoof. All right, board wipe number 1 from the opponent. Wow, Nature's Rhythm. Wow. That should be pretty good, huh? Guys, let's not forget Doppelgang can copy things that the opponent has too, so. But that's a reminder for myself. Nature's Rhythm can find a 5 mana card. That's probably worth it for the turn. Try to find another Regent while they only have Temple of Enlightenment open. Also wouldn't be terrible to just go Overlord of the Hauntwoods for the turn too. That's probably fine, because then at that point, we get even more mana for Doppelgang. So even if we miss, we'll still have X's 2 on Doppelgang. But Nature Rhythm can then be saved for the Craterhoof when it comes time as well. That's probably fine. All right, Demolition Field. Okay. I wouldn't mind more basics. When Virtue of Strength is, well, we're going to try to cast them out for free, right? Power up a Restless Anchorage. Nice. They're going to probably use the map token this turn then. So we might have a pretty all right turn if we want to try Doppelgang for X's 2. Don't really know what we want to copy though. Nope, they're going to keep the 3 open actually, so. Craterhoof Behemoth. Holy cow, man. We probably need to wait on it, right? Probably. Once the Virtue comes down, we'll have so much mana, maybe we can copy it too. The big thing is playing around these counter spells. So maybe we set up now with Nature's Rhythm now that the Craterhoof is actually in hand. I'd rather, I mean, X is 2 on the Doppelgang. Maybe we could copy their Restless Anchorage or something. I apologize, opponent. I'm thinking, buddy. Got a lot of options. About to get Virtue next turn. Couple turns away from Bloomvine. We could go X's 6 on the Nature's Rhythm. Bounce their lockdown. Draw on the Up the Beanstalk, I guess, right? Or we could just start with the swing. See what they do to the Overlord and then go from there. That's probably fine too. Maybe it's exile a tapped creature, right? Now that we have a tapped creature, getting some removal out of their hand before the Behemoth comes down. It is. It's going to be a Ride's End, actually. All right. I think that narrows it down a little bit for us. And Nature's Rhythm. It's actually a tough decision. Because they just recast the temporary lockdown, but they'll pick up their map token. But then we also exile our graveyard too. I apologize, opponent, for real. Dude, this is a tough decision. Yeah, we're going to go X's 6 on the Nature's Rhythm. Looks like their last island wasn't a Spell Pierce. Yeah, so, I mean, we could go the River Regent. We don't have to bounce the temporary lockdown. We don't need the life gain on the Bloomvine Regent. I think it's River Regent. It's a bigger, chunkier creature. If they recast the lockdown, the graveyards will be exiled. I'm using my timer and everything, dude. Holy cow. It's worth it. It's worth it, right? It's totally worth it. Because we get the draw on the Up the Beanstalk, too. Wait a minute, what was... Oh, the Harmonize on the Nature's Rhythm. Yeah. It was worth it, right? I think so. I think so. Also, them spending mana. I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, here comes Virtue. Let's do this. Is it gonna land? It lands. All right. Yeah. Oh, I don't mind seeing more land at all here. So, first of all, Up the Beanstalk. See what we draw. How much mana do I technically have? 15? 18? We have 18 mana. They got 2 cards remaining. What's the odds that it is going to be a counterspell? Probably pretty good. They haven't played a counterspell yet. We'll try it. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Come on. Come on down, Craterhoof. Holy cow, it lands. We're going to try X's 2 on the Doppelgang. Or X's 3 on the Doppelgang. I'm just going to tap the mana and see how much we have here. Okay, we have 10. We don't have X's 3. So undo. I apologize, opponent. Dude, send help, huh? Send help. So we're going to go X's 2 on the Doppelgang, and we're going to copy the River Regent and the Craterhoof Behemoth. We still have Bounce Off available. So if something does happen to our Behemoth, we can... Oh, they have the negate for the Doppelgang. Oh, that's why the Craterhoof didn't get... Okay. Okay, that's fine. Totally fine. Okay, more mana. Yeah, just keeping the Bounce Off to protect the Behemoth. Holy cow, it's a Ride's End, and they're actually going to hit the Regent here. That's the one that we don't mind them hitting. I'm still going to keep the Bounce Off to protect the Behemoth. The opponent has fizzled out, guys. They need some of their card draw for real. Now that we have an Up the Beanstalk established, too, we should be able to keep our hand nice and stocked up. All 4 of these for a very good reason, huh? Go for the swing, see what their map token gives them. With another Doppelgang in hand here, if they find another negate for the Doppelgang, then that's really good for them. But the big thing here is just copying the Behemoth. See what they find. It is going to be land. They go back up to 14 here. Yep, I'm not going to be silly and bounce the Restless Anchorage. I'm just going to keep the Bounce Off for the exact same reason that I've been. Bloomvine Regent, look at this, guys. It was suspended. Here it comes as a creature. We get card draw off Up the Beanstalk, too. This is crazy, dude. It has haste from the suspend. I wouldn't mind thinning the deck list a little bit here. before drawing off the Doppelgang. It's a little silly, though. I don't know if we need to do that, but... All right. Doppelgang number 2, X is 3 is probably enough, but we have more than enough for X is 4. So we might as well copy all 4 of our main permanents here, right? Still having Bounce Off available, plenty of mana available. Okay, this might have... X is 4 might be too much. I hope we don't, like, crash the game or something. If their Demolition Field open... It was not a negate. Oh my goodness. No, opponent, come back. Let me swing. No. That would have been such a fun swing, dude. Oh no. So, ah, man. First of all, these Bloomvine Regents over here didn't have haste. The important thing was the Craterhoof Behemoths had haste, right? Yeah, X's 4 was a little bit too much, but I guess you never know what the opponent could have had. Huh. All right, guys, let's go over the deck list again. Interesting matches, to say the least. Craterhoof Behemoth was certainly an MVP there. Yeah, wow. Hey, end of video pack real quick. Might as well. It's a brand spanking new pack. Tarkir Dragonstorm. Oh, getting a mythic spirit dragon. I'm down, dude. I don't know when I'm going to be visiting Saltai, but I mean eventually, right? All right, Simic Ramp. Oh, that's my second one too. Wow. Here's the deck list again. Cool. What else is there to say, man? It really showcased the side of things that I wanted it to showcase. It showcased the engine, but boy, was the engine really hard to get on the board. Why does everything die all the time, guys? Holy cow, man. We just had these incredible uphill battles. Every time we had something like ready to get established, it would go bye-bye. Then we'd have to wait and try to establish it again, but we had so much mana, so it was relatively easy to establish. All the one-ofs really coming in handy today. Nature's Rhythm acting as extra creature, our 4th Taigam or our 2nd Craterhoof Behemoth is really, really neat. But what's also neat is the Harmonize ability. Since we're ramping so well and potentially have so much excess mana, maybe excess mana once you get Virtuous Strength on the board or something too, or using the Harmonize actually tapping down one of your big chunky creatures like an Overlord or something, making it cost 6 less. It's really neat. This is a really cool card. It's a little bit similar to the battle, right? We never really see the battle, but what the battle doesn't have is, I don't know what it's called right now. Maybe I should just look under battle. There we go. Right here. Invasion of Ikoria. It's X and double green. It's a very similar thing, but it's a non-human creature. So we can't grab the Taigam, which is a human monk. That's definitely noteworthy. But then also on this battle, it doesn't have the Harmonize ability. So Nature's Rhythm, for this deck list in particular, is definitely just a direct upgrade. Outside of that, there's probably deck lists that would prefer the Invasion, but it's still pretty hard to flip 6 defense counters on it. I think Nature's Rhythm will be preferred overall. But that is, you know, an interesting thing to think about, I suppose, right? Either way, it's just a one-of, and it makes a lot of sense in here as a one-of to me, just acting as an extra creature of whatever we want. It's pretty easy to go X's 5 and grab a Bloomvine Regent when you need some extra life gain. And now every other dragon that you play, you're also gaining life. But again, wow, is it really hard to keep creatures on the board. Holy cow. So not having a way to give these creatures haste, not going Teamer instead of Simic, seems a little detrimental, but also I didn't want to go Teamer right away, right at the beginning of a set. Speaking of the beginning of a set, guys, put it on the do not craft list. Put everything on the do not craft list for a couple weeks after a given set, because you never know where the meta is going to settle. It was pretty cool though, right? If you already got all the cards, I would give this one a shot and see what you could do with your collection. Maybe you could try to optimize it a little bit too. Against the slower deck lists, I mean, you probably have a pretty good chance once you get the engine rolling. Again, though, it's so hard to get the engine on the board. Even our Up the Beanstalks are getting popped, but that shouldn't be too surprising as Up the Beanstalk is still everywhere with Overlords, and so people are still anticipating ways around that too. And one reason other than mice that people are playing Temporary Lockdown, for example. So we got to see Taigam do the thing, which is awesome because that was actually the original suggestion. Visit Taigam and Taigam. Am I pronouncing this right? Or is it like Taigam? Who knows, man. Anyways, it was to visit this with adventures, and I think the suggestion might have also mentioned omens. I'm not 100% certain right now. Either way, thank you again for the suggestion. This was a really fun one, and those were some fun games, even though it was really tough. This is one that you really got to practice with too. Even if I practiced a little more with it before sitting down to record, I still think it would have been really hard to play. There's a lot of options all the time, especially when not every card, but a lot of the cards have two options on them anyways. And so you got to try to find that balance of when do I play these, you know? Excuse me, guys. So I'm going to do some rearranging here at the end, again, with Wildling on the Omen, and then Regent as a 3-drop, Overlord as a 3-drop. What? Why did I do that? I just did the exact... It's in the exact same order. Anyways, Virtue of Strength as 1-drop adventure first, but yeah, it's not going to be unheard of to get it down for 7 mana either. We could consider going up another one of these. Maybe it's not... There's going to be moments where the adventure actually misses. For example, Taigam gets hit by Torch the Tower or something. Your Surveil doesn't do anything. You actually want to keep a card on top. You don't see Fabled Passage for the turn. So your graveyard's just empty. And now you see 2 Virtue of Strength and you're like, well, crap, I'd much rather just see more. If you drop a Spectral Denial for a Virtue of Strength, I wouldn't do that, right? So really depends. Also, Spectral Denial, your choice counterspell, right? What do you guys think would be better in this scenario? I like Spectral Denial, and I think it would be all too easy to get this pretty cheap, man. And also, being an X spell, when you do have all that excess mana, 25 total lands packed in, by the way, guys. I think that makes sense. We're leaning heavily green, and we're leaning heavily green over here in the mana base, too. Just remember, Verge only tapping for blue at first. So when you do the rearranging like that and you pretend the Verge is just more blue sources, we're barely leaning green. However, 14 total basics. Hedge Maze also counting as forest and island. Fabled Passage grabbing basics, right? Then the Wildling's Omen grabbing basics. Bloomvine Regent grabbing basics. Overlord, it gives you the everywhere, plains, island, swamp, mountain, forest. I mean, at that point, can we really treat the Verge as just a blue source? Maybe, because there's that one game where I kept that hand where it was just a couple Verges in the Mistrise Village. Speaking of the villages, guys, I don't know. Let's go over these. I didn't go over them at the beginning. So the Kishla Village here, it enters tapped unless you control an island or a swamp. And in this deck list, of course, we're looking at the island. You can tap it for a green. You can pay 3 and a green, tap it, Surveil 2. So there's a way to get cards into the grave for the Virtue, I guess, right? Other than that, Surveil 2 is just a better form of scrying. And scrying's very powerful, so... Excuse me, guys. I'm slowly but surely losing my voice, apparently. Anyways, yeah, seeing 2 off the top, just shuffling around those top 2 cards is probably worth it. But see, it's not a forest. And so are you going to get held up sometimes on the Verge? Probably not, because again, you could use that at least 1 green source on a Wildling's Omen or the Omen on the Regent too. So, and then the Mistrise Village, I'd say this one's definitely worth it. So you can pay a blue, tap it. So first of all, this one's mountain or forest. So in this deck list, of course, we're looking at the forest. So you can tap it for a blue, Now you can pay a blue, tap it. The next spell you cast this turn can't be countered. Guys, I would even consider 2 of these, honestly. Do I have 2? I don't. Not yet. Not yet, at least. But think about if the opponent wasn't able to counter that Doppelgang, it probably would have been over it and 1 turn sooner, right? Mistrise Village, this is one to keep your eye on for sure. The question is, how often is it going to hold up your verges? And the verges are just such excellent land that it's pretty hard to substitute something else in sometimes, you know what I mean? Like if we opted for early land, then we probably would have had a lot of tap land in those late games. The verge is just much, much better for a deck list like this at that point. Guys, if you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. Let me know what you would add or take out down in the comments, and what does your ramp deck list look like? I brought up Teamer. You guys got Teamer ramp? Let me know. Let me know what it looks like too. I'm interested. Maybe some Teamer dragons at some point. Yeah, we're rocking 10 dragons in here. It's kind of no joke. That's a lot of dragons. Really like this Marang River Regent. It's a pretty interesting ability, dude. The fact that it's a 6/7 and everything. All these extra ETBs working so well with the copies on the Doppelgang. Like the synergies in here were no joke. This I'm pleased with how this came together, but there's just that issue with Standard of, are you actually gonna establish your engine, or is everything gonna get removed as soon as you play it? And when you're playing big things over and over again, it really depends. It really, really does. Also, there were some plays today. I could have optimized some of those games for sure. We did not actually get the mill on the fetch quest, right? We never actually played fetch quest. We only got the Bramble Familiar side of things. The Bramble Familiar side, don't forget, there's that discard a card, return a creature to its owner's hand, or this creature, right? So that's actually another way to get something into the grave. Maybe you can bring back with the Virtue. So I could definitely see a couple Virtue strengths. Oh, and I can definitely see a couple Craterhoof Behemoths too. This is another one. I actually don't have the second one quite yet. I think it might be worth the craft for the second one at some point. It depends. It really depends. I think I'll probably craft the second one at some point soon if I don't pull one from a pack. So we'll see. We'll see what deck lists I end up playing the next couple weeks too. All right, guys. Now, actually, enough rambling. Thank you again for being here. Thank you again for the awesome suggestion. Very fun. And I will see you in the next video.